So first let me open my mail. Get this visual file. We have received a visual file. Save this visual file. Whatever the visual file I give, save this visual file. Then, so are you consumer or provider now? Are you the consumer or provider? Are you the consumer or provider?
नहीं आता जान
Are you consumer or provider? Right. Are you consumer or provider? Right now, are you consumer or provider? We are the providers, right? We are the providers. We are the providers or consumers? We are the person who is consuming the service which are there in the Amazon. Amazon has some web service. They are offering the web service using a visual file. We are going to consume the service from Salesforce. We are the consumers of the service. When you are the consumer of the service, how we are going to consume? If you are a consumer of the service, how we are going to consume? Set up, build, develop Apex classes, then we have generate from wisdom. Generate from wisdom. Then here we have person service wisdom. Pass. Whatever the visual file you give, we are passing it. Amazon example. Now, whatever the visual file you give, the visual file we consume, we got a Apex class. So third party system has given you visual file. We consume the visual file. Once you consumed, we got the corresponding Apex classes. Now what I was supposed to do? Looking at this visual file, we can understand what is our main class. Where was the visual file? Was it flow opportunity? Right. What was the main class here? What was the main class here? Look at the point. The name of the main class is person service soap 11. This is the main class. So whatever the class that is generated, in that I have to look for this class. The class was created. In that class, the method was person service soap 11. This is the main class. Okay. Now look at the binding box. Service is the main class. So we are supposed to look at person service 11. Now what type of binding is this? Document binding. What type of binding is this? Document binding. What are the methods that are available? Portfolio is like an interface which will tell the name of the methods. What are the name of the methods? Add person, update person, get all, delete all. Right. These are the name of the methods we have. get person, get up, okay, update person, get all person. All these are what? Methods. So looking at the original file, I can tell you what is the main class in which my services are available, what are the methods that are available. So in that main class, these are the methods which are available. Okay, go back to this. Amazon example. When you take this, scroll down, person soap, person service, soap level. This is the main class. Now, in the main class, what are you finding here? Endpoint URL. So this is the endpoint URL to which the request is going. I am making a soap. Internally, it is a HTTP protocol only. So what should I do? First, I have to register this with a third-party system. I have to register this as a third-party system in the remote site setting. I have to go to the remote site setting and I have to register this URL. Then, what are the parameters we have? Input parameters, output parameters. In case, if you are supposed to pass anything in the URL, if they are expecting you to pass anything in the URL, if they are expecting you to pass anything in the URL, if they are expecting any parameter, I used to put them as what? In the REST API, I used to put anything in the URL question mark, I am going to put it. But here we don't have the choice. So if anything you want to pass as an input, that we have to put it here. If you want to pass anything as the input, the URL if you want to pass anything, okay, that I have to put it in the input. This is output parameter. In case if you want to pass any certificate, if it is a certificate based authentication, we have to give the name of the certificate here. Simply, certificate name equal name of the certificate. If it is a certificate based authentication, we have to give the name of the certificate. Giving the certificate password is a old trend. That's already lost. Old model of, okay, SOAP API is that we used to give certificate name, certificate, password. Now we are not doing that. We only give certificate name. The next, in case you want to give a timeout, what is the timeout? Now, I want to go with header-based authentication. Header-based authentication. Then, we have to put our data in header. Header element. If it is header-based authentication, you have to pass the information. In the REST API, if you want to put anything in the header, request.set header, authorization, request.set header, content type, request.header type, okay, request.set header. So, we are going to put the elements in the header in the REST API. Similarly, in the SOAP API, if you want to put anything in the header, you want to pass the information like a header, everywhere you have an element called header element. You are finding an element called header element. Within this element, you have to pass it. Now, depends upon the service, this will tell what elements need to be passed. Okay. If it is a header-based authentication, we have to put the data in this. Now, if you want to pass any input parameters in the URL, we are going to put it here. If you want to pass the certificate-based authentication, we have to put it here. If it is a header-based authentication, we have to pass it here. If it is a header-based authentication, we have to pass it here. Header-based authentication, we have to pass it here. Okay. Then, what are the methods we have? Add person, update person, get all person. Like this, we have the story. First, I will do with get all person. Now, the service was running or duplicated. Get person. Get all person is not working. Okay. First I will go with add person. First I will go with add person. So how do you add the person? Go to the service. We want to add the person. Get the person. Update person. Then we have add person. Add the person. This is the method. If you want to add the person, what they're asking, you are supposed to pass the parameter. Right. Now, if it is a body-based authentication, in the method, authentication data will be passed like a parameter. If it is a body-based authentication, in the method, we are going to pass. See, REST API, we have seen. In the REST API, how did you set the header? Okay, how did you set the body and header? Some am I right? This is what we call header based data. If it is a body based authentication, what did you do? Now we used to give. Okay. The same, when you are a consumer, this is the format. When you are a provider, everything is to be am I right? We should take REST request dot REST request REST context dot request. This is how, because it is a header based, no parameter. If it is a body based, am I right or no? If it is a body based, in the method, they are taking the parameter like a parameters they are taking. In the body based, whatever the data they are expecting like a parameters. Am I right? Okay. The same story is happening here. Even here also the same story is happening. Now, what they are expecting here? If it is a body based, look at the point. Now you are calling, you are expecting a data. Pass the data like a parameter. It is a body. In the body, we are passing the data. Whatever the authentication data you want to pass, this is the body. Now, the question here is, do you want me to pass authentication data in the header, the remaining data in the body, or do you want me to pass authentication data and the remaining data also as a body? That's what they're asking. Now, as per this request, we look at this request, add a person. Here, they're only asking the data of a person, they're not asking the authentication data. So, where should I pass the authentication data? Authentication data should be passed like a header. Authentication data should be passed like a header. Now, you have to log into that Amazon application. Unless I authenticate with the Amazon, Amazon will not allow me to add the data or remove the data. So, here, what is the data they're expecting? They're expecting only person data. Okay, then where I am going to pass my authentication data? In the header I am going to pass. In the header I am going to pass. What is my authentication data? Test and welcome. Okay. Look at the story. Now, how do you create this example? Look at the story. What is the data they are expecting? Person data they are expecting. Age, ID, name, country, occupation. Then we have public. I'm going to add. Now what I want to do, Amazon example dot name equal to name. This is how we create. So creating a person. The next one. Create login. Authentication header. How the authentication header is created? Amazon. So header element. Header dot user ID. Password. Right. Then invoke the service. Create a instance of Amazon services. How you create the instance of Amazon service? Amazon example dot person soap level. Then we have service dot person header. What was that? Was the header. Was the header information. Invoke the person. Invoke the add person service. When you invoke add person service, result equal to, then what we are doing? Service dot add person. They are expecting a person object. What is the person object we created? AP. This is what happened. So we set the header and we are invoking a service called add person where AP is the object of the person. We are passing the person, new person data, invoking a service called add person. To call this add person, we have to pass your authentication. Where are you putting the authentication? Authentication data is in header. We are passing the authentication data in the header. So everything will be of two formats, three formats. Certificate, header authentication, body authentication. Either you are going to put the authentication in the header or body or certificate. Now this is the example of header. Putting the authentication data in header and invoking the service. When you invoke the service, we want to know the result. We want to give a result. Apex page dot message. Result dot message. Now, can I make this as a trigger? Whenever a person is created in the Salesforce, the same person should be created in the Amazon. Now I will create an object here. I wrote it this way. We can also put this in the form of trigger. How can we put it in the form of trigger? I made this as a simple one. Let me make it as a trigger here. Student name, phone. So name, occupation, country, age. Okay. Now what was the story? Now I want to invoke this. Here, the service is going to be. In this case, I want to make this as a REST API service. So how do you make a REST API service? I want to put it in the trigger. If you want to put in the trigger we cannot call. In the trigger we cannot call web services directly. Am I right now? Trigger will not support synchronous web services. So I'm putting it public. Stop. This is a story. Then for same logic. Only the difference here is right. Public static invoke list of students. Okay. Then I want to give then I want to put this. And also I also put the same information. Put one extra field here. Yeah. This story. So, now look at the story, what I want. This story, what I created. Now, update. There is a static method, future method I have defined. Why did I create a future method? Right. Now I had an issue with this. What was the issue? Tell me what is the issue? Future method doesn't accept. Future method doesn't accept S object as a parameter. This we are not really recognizing. Student. Age, country, occupation, and what is the other one? Get the student. What are the students' ID you have given? Can I pass the student IDs? Yes, we can pass the student IDs. Because student ID is a primitive. Student ID is a primitive. So I pass the student ID. Based on the student ID, I fetch the data. Then we have age equal to s dot age. Status. Illegal assignment of decimal to. Okay. Okay, let us check it out. There is a person data, person how they are taking, person age. We are getting the data in the form of decimal. Okay. And this is what? Description. Basically, I thought of creating a field called edit. Okay, move on. First I thought of, okay, we just created in the form of VF page to Apex class. The next, I made this example, one more functionality I created. This is for what? This for what? This we created to run from the trigger. I'm making this service available for VF page. I'm making this service available for Apex class. Right. Now VF page as well as the trigger. Now why did I create a trigger? Okay, feature method here. Why did I create a feature method here? Boss, we cannot call synchronous web services from the trigger. We can only call synchronous web services. Okay, we cannot call synchronous web service from a trigger. Only asynchronous web services are invoked. If I want to make asynchronous web service, at the rate of future. call out equal to true. The second mistake I got is I passed a list of S object. Future method doesn't accept list of S object. Again I modified by passing list of IDC. So what is our context? What is our context? Whenever a new student is created in the Salesforce, the same record should be created in the Amazon like a person. The same thing I am going to say. When a new account is created, same account should be created in the third party system as a customer. Now I took here as a student, your requirement is whenever a new distributor is created, same distributor data should be updated to the third party. Whenever the distributor data is modified here, the data should be modified in the SAP. Whenever the new distributor is created in the SAP, the same data should be created in the Salesforce. I hope you got the requirement. Okay. Now what should I do? Create a trigger.
In that, so this one will go in the Pablo for a long time, but every time we are sending that header information.
Obviously, the request is only for creating a single person. No? The service what they gave, for every individual person they gave service.
We are sending for one person.
Obviously, he is giving the requirement like that only. Whatever the service he is giving, I have to use it. Okay, because we are crossing our limits, we cannot do it. Because the service provider says, you send only 1% data, I will send at a time. So only 1% data should be sent at a time. That is a service what he is offering. Okay, in case if your limits are crossing, you take care about your limits and everything. That's not my responsibility. Okay, I am a service provider, I am saying you send a person data, I will create. Okay, if you have a requirement of sending 1,000 people, it is not my headache. It is a consumer headache. Okay, then you take a future mother or batch of X or something and resolve the issue.
One more question, like, see, we are creating the person in the system, but not we need to create any firewall.
See, now the point, again I make the point. See, I am the service provider. You have to use what I do. You cannot dictate me. It is my service. If you don't want to use it, don't use it. Got my point? So I am the service provider. You are the consumer. I will not design the service according to you. See, I am a SAP system boss. You are a Salesforce system. Right? Now I will have my own developers to develop my services. You have your own developers to consume it. Okay. And both the application may or may not be from same organization.
This section also, don't the Amazon service have any firewall not to restrict the Salesforce?
That's where the authentication data we are passing it, right? That's where the authentication is coming. It's not open for everyone, no?
Apart from the authentication, sometimes they give the firewall because it does not enter any features.
Now see, that's all the headache of the third party. If they want to have a certificate-based authentication, firewall-based authentication, let them do whatever they want. Now, if they have that authentication, to authorize, they give you some credentials, no? You put anything of your choice. But if you want to enter, some authentication data should be given, no? Now, I will not peep into your firewalls and say how to authenticate. Now, you have to tell me the procedure, how should I authenticate to log into you. You do whatever you want. But at the end of the game, for the consumer, you have to tell what is the data I have to provide to prove myself. So, I am least bothered about what you use as your security mechanism is your headache. Okay. So, the point here is you are trying to dominate both sides. Both side domination will not happen. Only one side domination will be there. Right. When you are a consumer, okay, when you are a consumer, they give you some credential, use that and log in to have the services what they give. That's all. If you are a provider, you dictate the person, boss, you follow this procedure to log into. And there are two different applications. Now you are using ICICI Pay, okay, online banking. Now when you tell it to ICICI Bank, boss, I don't want username, password, I'll log in with mobile number, OTP. No. Right? Boss, I want to log into my account, my wife's account, my kid account at a time. Single go. Give me 3 login pages in a single. You cannot. You have to obey the procedures what they give because you are consuming somebody's service. Got it? So, student example. Of it. We are calling invoke. So here we have IDs required. You are passing the IDs. So, whenever a new student is created, automatically it is invoking a Amazon services here. Okay. We'll go back to the system. Here we need to understand. Oops. Service is down. This is the service I have. Then go to student. Now we made a request. When we made a request, now it's an asynchronous operation. When it is an asynchronous operation, let it take its own time. Let it take its own time, complete the operation. Now it is completed. So what is that? Trigger is completed successfully, but the web service is not completed. Because web service is completed, the feature method is completed, then we get a status here. Now we got it. That's the advantage. We put it, the trigger will close off. You run independently, when you are done, you update the status. Initially when I created it, I got the record, status is blank. Now when the feature method is completed, it updated the status. Right? So that the operation will not be delayed. That's how the trigger will not support synchronous web services. Right? Right? When I inserted the new record here, it inserted the record in the third party. Go back to the third party and see the data. So we got Praveen, India SC 56. This record. The same thing happened with the third party. Now I took here person and student. Your requirement may be account and customer or opportunity or code. Some XYZ will be there. Right now. Next. The same story I want to create. I want to write one more trigger here. Whenever the student data is modified, I want the third party data should be modified. Whenever the student data is modified, I want third party data to be modified. So what I require? Update operation. So I have update person. So in the update person, this is also authentication the header only. Okay. Update person. I want to write a update trigger. So what I'm doing here? After insert. After insert, after update. Now let us go to the after update service. Update person. What is the data they are expecting here? Person. Now if you want to update a person, how do I recognize? I recognize the person. I recognize the person based on the ID. I recognize the person based on the ID. I recognize the person based on the ID. Now, when you inserted the data, are you giving me person ID? Get person response, add person response. Okay. Now, ID I require. If I pass the ID of the person, you are going to get it. So, I will try to give here ID also required. So, I need to make small changes in the service request. Probably if I written the message and ID, they can update the ID here. Okay. Okay. Now if a person ID, what is the ID we got here? 97. So, what is the story? Same story. Only the point is, here I was supposed to provide ID of the student also. Here I have to provide ID of the student also. Okay. Now, same story I am going to give. Then I will give. Okay. Now, because I don't want to write the service one more time. Okay, chalo. The service requests are going to be different, right? So, okay, what I'm giving, if my ID is greater than 0, if my ID is greater than 0, if my ID is not greater than 0, then insert record. If my ID is not greater than 0, insert record. If my ID is greater than 0, then I will call the same story, update the person. What was that? See, just trying to avoid one more method creation. Set the ID and update the person. So keep this dot. Now look at the story. I have a service which says student ID and so on. If it is insert trigger, list of student ID 0. If it is insert, you are giving 0. If trigger dot the purpose of creating the Apex class is the same, right? Reusability. The purpose of creating the Apex class is what? Reusability, right? Is insert, is update. Then is update trigger, same story. But I would call. So I have an issue here. What is the issue? Small issue I have. ID I cannot pass because group of IDs I am passing. So what is the solution I have? I'm just trying to optimize the code in better way. So here I can say s dot s dot student ID greater than 0. Okay. Now why did I change my ID again? It is not regarding the web service logic. It is regarding the data what I am passing. Why did I change? When I am writing the trigger, I felt if I have to pass the student ID, now I cannot pass a group of records. Because I am passing what? Student IDs. I am passing what? Student IDs. When you are passing the student IDs, you are referring to group of records. When you are passing student IDs, you are referring to group of records. Now if I pass a student ID, group of records, I cannot pass group of student IDs. You get the point? If I am passing only one record, ID of the record, student ID I can pass. If ID is greater than 0, no need. But it is a trigger, I was supposed to pass list of records. When I am passing list of records, list of IDs I can pass, but student IDs I cannot pass. Got the story? Okay. Let me show you the point. Let the program be closed, I will show it. See, look at the point. Just this because of trigger, we are just getting extra logic here. I am passing student. It is what? These are the 18 character IDs. Here I was supposed to pass, as per my logic, I was supposed to pass student ID, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 number. Now how many IDs I can pass? One ID, right? But every student will not have the same ID. I am inserting 10 students. Then how many student IDs I have to pass? 10 student IDs. Now this is a 18 character ID. This is the ID created in the Amazon. I cannot pass 18 character ID there, right? I cannot pass, okay. If you are getting or not, let me know. Student record will have 18 character ID. I told list of ID, that 18 character ID I am passing. 4 records, 4 IDs, 10 records, 10 IDs. Okay, if I am inserting 4 records, I cannot pass a single ID. I also need to pass 4 IDs because it's a trigger bulk. Okay, so initially I gave 0, not 0, 0 and not 0. I gave 0 and not 0. 0 and not 0. If it is 0, I ask you to perform update. If it is 0, insert. If it is 1, update. Okay. Later I thought, boss, passing one ID is not a good idea here. Okay. So if it is an update operation, already record will have some ID. If it is an update operation, already record will have internal ID. Based on that ID, we can manage it. We brought unwanted trigger inside, so we need to put some extra logic to meet up the trigger requirements. Let the file be saved, we will implement it. Somewhere semicolon is missing. What was that? let the file be saved. The issue is not with respect to the web service, issue is with respect to the logics in invoking the method. We are just trying to avoid defining one more method. By this time we would have defined one more method also. Okay. But we are just trying to avoid defining one more method, trying to optimize the code. So what is the core purpose of defining a Apex trigger handler? What is the core purpose of defining an Apex class? To avoid redundancy of the code, and you want to define a single method which can be used at multiple locations. Reusability. Now when the logic is same, only because of one particular line, I don't want to define one more new method. So I just try to add a extra logic here which will classify whether it is insert or update. Okay, go back to the student now. Go to the trigger. Right. Now let it be insert or update. Same story is running, right? Then I can also avoid writing this code twice. If it is insert or update, run this logic. If it is insert or update, run this logic. If it is insert or update, same method is invoked. Insert or update, same method is invoked. But when you invoke the method, here in the method, we are checking. If student ID is there, update. Student ID is not there, insert. Student ID is there, student ID is there. If student ID is there, update. Student ID is not there, insert. Okay. Now let us go back to the trigger. Open Ravi. Now what I am trying to give age 90. Right. I modified the data. When you modify the data, again, right, data is modified. Go back to the record here. Check out whether data is modified successfully or not. Praveen, India tester, 90. So what was the service here I wrote? I wrote a trigger on a student object saying that whenever the student is created, new student should be created in the third party. Whenever the student data is modified, the data should be modified. Now, all these extra logic that we have done from last 10 minutes is to accommodate this. It is only to reduce number of times the method is invoked, the number of times the method is defined. We just try to optimize the code in reducing the length of the code or avoiding the redundancy of the code, for which I wrote the custom logics. But at the end of the game, what is the story that is running on here? Was whenever you create a new record, trigger will be fired, instance of new student. Instance of new student. Whenever we are modifying the student, same data should be modified in the third party. So we are trying to call a third party service to insert the data into third party. We are calling a third party service to update the data into third party system. Is that was clear? What type of authentication I have used in both the cases? Header based authentication. Now I want to go with the body based authentication. Now in the body based authentication, what I want to do? Get person. In the body based authentication, what I want to do? Get person. So here I have a requirement like this. What is my requirement? Let us say student, and I'll create let me implement the same thing as say trigger only. Okay, we are best handling with the trigger. Let me implement the trigger only. Let me create one custom object. employee, employee name, okay, ID, number, employee ID, age, occupation. Okay. So my requirement is when a new employee is created, based on the employee ID, go to the third party system, get that employee data, update to the Salesforce. Whenever a new employee is created, go to the third party, based on the employee ID, whatever the data that is there in the third party, get the data, update the data in Salesforce. Now, the previous two example, from Salesforce we are sending the data to third party. Now this example, from third party, I want to get the data and I want to use in the Salesforce. Is that was clear? The previous two example, when student is created, send the data to third party. When student is modified, send the data to third party. Now my requirement is, whenever an employee is created, based on the employee ID, send a request to third party will give you some data, use the data, update to the employee. Is that was clear? Requirement is clear? Okay. This also I want to achieve with the trigger, because whenever an employee is created. Okay. We can directly create it with the Apex class in VF page, but it's simplified. Let us build it as a automated system. Okay. But here, the authentication procedure what we are following is the body-based authentication. What type of authentication we are following? Body-based authentication. Okay. Now look at the story. What is the information we want to call? Get the person. When I say get person, they're asking me two parameters here. One is what? Login credentials they're asking me to pass. The second one they're asking me to pass ID of the employee. They're asking me to pass login credential, they're asking me to pass ID. If you pass the ID and login credential, they're going to return the person. Now get a person response. Okay. So let me create one service here. The same one I'm going to create. Again, future. Why future? Why future? So public, static. So what you are supposed to pass? IDs of the student. IDs of the student, if you pass, you can make it. Can I pass integer values? Yes, you can pass the integer value. Right. First story. What is the first story? Create the login. So we have name, login credential. Then for every employee ID, we have to make a separate request. What is the request? It is a straightaway request. Because it's a body-based authentication. What was the class here? Person create the main class here. Amazon get person response element, result equal to service dot get person. What I am giving? Login comma. So what they are expecting here? Look at the story. Now, what is the authentication data we are giving here? What is the authentication data we are giving here? Look at this. Amazon person class service dot get person based on login ID based on employee ID. Service dot get person login ID and employee ID. If you pass login ID and employee ID, there is a possibility that there may be a mismatch. You know, I have given the integer, it will be done. Okay. Now, if you pass the employee ID, look at the story. Here, am I passing the authentication data in the body or header? Here, the data is passed as a parameter. Login credentials are passed like a parameter. Login credentials are passed like a parameter. What type of authentication is this? Body-based authentication. What type of authentication is this? Body-based authentication. Previous example, what we have done? Okay, authentication data was put on. Authentication data was put on header. Then I put that information in the header. But here, authentication data was passed as a parameter. Authentication data was passed as a parameter. Now what should I do? Based on the students, once I got this data, I have to update the data. So what I am doing here, so I will give here employee ID, get the data, write a query, list of employees equal to select ID, name, age, occupation. Occupation from employee where ID in get the employees. Now I want to run the loop for employee. How do you run the loop for employee? Employee EMP equal to employees. Right. Now what I am doing? Integer EMP ID equal to go back to the story once again. Employee ID, EMP ID. Right. Then we are passing. Once you pass, you are getting the data. Look at the story. One by one employee I am taking. One by one employee I am taking. One by one employee I am taking. I am getting the employee ID. Once you got the employee ID, one by one employee, whatever the new employee that is created, take one by one employee. Take one by one employee. Then pass that employee ID to the get person along with the login credential. When you make a request, what we are going to get? Employee details you are going to get. Once you got the employee details, what should I do? emp dot name equal to result dot. We need to check out what is the result. So go to the person, what is the method? Get person response element. Go to this, get person response element. Get person response element, where we have get response. They are giving the reply as what? Get person written, in which we are going to have. See, we are calling, they are giving this response. In the response, what is the variable we have? Get person return, which is a variable of person object. In the person, what will be there? Name, occupation, everything will be there. So I am doing here. Get person dot. emp dot. Dot. emp dot occupation equal to result dot there was some bug here. Let me cross check once again. Update person, get all person, get person response, get person response element. Where was this? Get person response element. Get person response element. Get person. Okay. You modify. Once you modify, so what was the story here? Update employees. So look at the story. I will explain the line by line, because we are trying to make a meaningful use case here. So what was the story? Based on the employee IDs, fetch the employee details. Then create object for passing the login credentials. Then create the object for service class. Then take one by one employee, and make the request for the data based on employee. based on the employee ID, send the request to third party system and get the data. From the result, take the person data, update to. See, in this entire code, our web service line is only this. Line number 67, line number 72. These are only 2 lines for our web service. Out of this entire program, our web service code is what? Actually, if you want to execute the SOAP API, line number 67, line number 72, that's all. The remaining code is to accommodate your requirement. Did you get my point here? Our web service code is what? Line number 67 and line number 72. These 2 lines are sufficient to make a request. But every time you will not go to debug console and execute, no. Every time you will not go to anonymous window and execute, no. Are you getting my point? Only those 2 lines are your web service lines, 67 and 72. Rest all the code is to accommodate your business requirement. Now our requirement is what? When employee is created, now we need to make a request to third party, get the data from third party, update the data in Salesforce. Now, when you are creating a record, automatically trigger should fire. That means we have to write a trigger. Every trigger is bulk trigger. So we will be getting list of records. I cannot pass a list of records, so I am passing list of IDs. When you pass a list of IDs, based on the IDs, I am getting the corresponding data from the employee. Then taking one by one employee, why one by one employee? My service says pass employee ID. One particular employee ID if you pass, I will give that particular employee data. So if I have 10 employees, I have to run this loop 10 times. So I wrote a for loop to send a request, get the response. Now when you send a request, they are giving a response. Whatever the response they are giving, I am taking that response, trying to update my data. This is all to accommodate your business requirement. Practically speaking, your web service line is 67 and 72. Right? Is that was clear now? Come. Now, get a person return. Look at this. When you are calling get person, what is the result they are giving? Update person, get person. If you are calling a get person, this is the result what we are getting. Get person, this is the return type what you are getting. Now what is this? Get person response element is the class which you are getting. Go to the class. This is the class what I got. This is the class what I am getting. In the class what is the variable we have? Get person return. Right. Okay. Now what I need to do? Create a trigger. Employee. So what I was supposed to do? Map of ready. Yeah. Then we are supposed to call we are invoking this. So go back to the story, go to the employee object, Ravi 97. Right. We made a request. Let us go and see whether authentication is success or failure. Apex jobs failed. What was that? Without querying the field. Okay. Future cannot be called from future. Okay. So go back to the story. I had an issue there. Future cannot be called from future. Insert the data. When an employee is created, this is how we got the data from the right. So what type of authentication I have used here? Body-based authentication. If it is a body-based authentication, what I have done? Pass the data like a parameter in the middle. If it is a header-based authentication, in the header we have an element called header element. That will be available in every case. If it is header element will be there. There we are supposed to put our authentication data. Is that was clear for everyone? Right? So, we are making a request to third-party system, pushing the data, fetching the data. We are making a request to third-party system, pushing the data, fetching the data. We are making a request to third-party system and fetching the data, pushing the data. Here, there is a exception which was caused. Right? You call update. It went to third-party system. Okay, update the data. Once whatever the data is updated, again coming back, updating the record in the. See here. Okay, if you are interested, I'll discuss about these issues what we are facing also. Okay. Now this is what recursive trigger. Why recursive trigger? When update is done on the student, making a request to third party. Okay, updating the data and whatever the status we are getting, the status again I am updating to the status field. Now again what? Update called future called web service got data is again updated to record. Again record is updated, again feature is called. So future is called from feature. How can we avoid it? How can we avoid it? Now it's a loop. Now we need to take care about this. How we can call this? Now we have to ensure how we can call this. We have to ensure how we can call this. This is not work out. So we have to take some other operation to handle this. The future call within the future, recursive. Now what is the solution we can give? What is the solution we can give? What is the solution we can give? When status is modified, don't call the trigger. When status is modified, don't invoke this operation. When any field other than status is modified, then only call this, so that we can avoid it. Here, You are making a modification, you went to third party call the web service gives the data, response I am storing in the status. So when the status is modified, we don't want to call web service. Other than status is modified, only when the student, other than the status is modified, then only call the web service. There's one logic what I can use here. This is not with respect to the web services, but this is a future is getting called the feature, how to avoid it. One solution is what? Whenever non-status field is modified, then only invoke this web service. Right? Then we can avoid the feature within a feature. With respect to this example. In this example, we are getting future call from feature exception. That we can avoid by using it. Right? So when you take this type of scenarios only, we find out the practical issues. Right or not? Fine. So we don't want to break your heads now. The story here is simple story. The story here is when we are trying to call a data from third party system, make a request to third party system using a SOAP, there are three ways of authentication. One way of authentication is header, second one is body, third one is certificate. Header means internally we have header element, body means we'll be passing like a parameter. When you say certificate, in case your organization is using certificate based authentication, we need to pass the certificate. We need to pass the certificate. We need to pass the certificate. We have seen header format of authentication, body format of authentication. Is that was clear for everyone? Right? Okay. Let us take some break and come back. We'll continue with example. Meanwhile, if anyone has any query, let me